Hello and welcome to Brimwood Farm. I've spent the morning down here cleaning out the chickens, which is one of the chores I have to do every week. And we're just going to feed them. So let's grab this and let's just go into our fresh... Hello? I know. Are you hungry? So he's a loud boy. They've had their fermented grain this morning, but I do just need to fill up. Hey! What's wrong? Why are you being so loud this morning? Blimey. It's not normally like this, I promise you. Oh my goodness. So you wouldn't believe that this was full and clean this morning, but the ducks have been in it. Can you not drink that? Because it's probably not very nice, girls. So let's just rinse it all out again. Well, that looks a bit better until the ducks get in. So one of the things I cannot wait for when we move to the farm is no more poultry cleaning, because I intend to have chicken tractors, so that as soon as anywhere gets slightly pooey, I can just move the chicken tractor. So the chickens can just go across the field and I'll just move the chicken tractor across and I won't have to worry about weekly cleaning. In an urban environment, it is annoying to have to constantly muck out. And the other thing is, I don't mind mucking out, but the major thing that I get annoyed with is that I have nowhere to dispose of the muck. So the muck has to go into plastic bags, which go into my bin, which goes to landfill, which just is contributing to the garbage of the planet. And plastic, because I'm having to use plastic bin bags. There's only so much poop my compost heap can take. So I cannot wait to get that manure out of here and onto the farm and just use it to naturally fertilise, you know, the pastures and things. But for now, we just have to work with what we have and do our weekly clean out. Now spring has finally arrived, and I keep saying that because we have off days and then it gets warmer again. It's not particularly warm today, but things are coming into life, which is really nice. So the fruit tree here, this is the plum, is in full blossom. Tons and tons of flowers. We've got our lovely little broad beans, which are doing well. There's some chard, there's some kale, more chard, more spinach. This is particularly nice, this euphorbia, which I think you've seen before. And we've done lots of other little projects as well. So over the past couple of days, we have fixed the fence. We'll see how long that lasts. I did realise that the main thing was this bit down here was just blowing in the wind, and then the trellising was coming off. So I've kind of tied all of this together, nailed it all on, put this board across. So hopefully it should hold it in place, and so far so good. You can see the honeysuckle's really starting to take over. So we've mended that for starters. We've had a nice little clean up, sort of gone around and cleared things, because the one thing I don't do is clear in the autumn. I like to leave it on for winter, for the wildlife, and also for protection of the plants. So if you leave the dead stems on, and they'll protect the crown from frost and things, which is one thing that I did with the sarracenia. So we leave our sarracenias out all year round. It's Sard's collection. There's sarracenia, and then on this side, amongst these weeds, there's some little Venus flytraps, and there are some sundews in here as well. I'm not sure where they are at the moment, but we leave all of this to protect it from the frost. But at this time of year, we need to start cutting it back because you've got your new fronds coming through. So here's some of the new fronds, and these are really old and these aren't going to work. So we need to have a good clear out of that today. So that's what I'm going to start with. So coming in here, the first thing obviously I want to do is take out these weeds. Oh, and try not to break. This is the only problem with using these plastic tubs is they get brittle in the cold and they do snap. So I have to just be careful, and you can see, oh, that's got a lot of root growth on it. I don't want to damage too much. Take that out. There's another weed here. Take that out. There's a few weeds actually. When I say a few, I mean quite a lot. We'll go back to there in a minute. So all these flutes are no longer any good. They're not going to work for the sarracenia in terms of trapping flies. So you want to cut them all off, and you want to cut them right back to the bottom, because all these new ones that you can see here, like this curly one, this will straighten up, so it will grow and it will straighten up. So we want to take everything that's got a little bit of dead leaf on it, we want to just snip off. And even if we do get a little frost, these will still be okay. And if it does look like we're going to have a major cold patch, I will just protect these with a bit of plastic or fleece or something. But for the most part, these sarracenias are fine. So we're going to crack on, and I'm going to do this entire display of sarracenias the whole way around. Clean it out, make it look pretty, and then get ready hopefully for the growing year ahead. So there we go, that is a lot better now, so you can actually see where the sarracenia are. So over here we've got our sarracenia, we've got our little Venus flytraps. There are some little baby sundews in here, as you can see now they've been revealed. And then the rest of these are sarracenia. Now, the nice thing is, now we've cut all of that back, you can see these. So these are flower shoots. Sarracenia flowers are amazing. I'll link a video from a couple of years ago, I think, where I had some sarracenia flowers, and they are fantastic. What actually comes out of these beautiful plants. I just noticed a piece of grass here. Let's take that out. And you can see there's lots in there. There's more shoots here. And then there's tons and tons of shoots here. Now all of these, so this is a flower bud, but this little thing here, that's going to turn into a new flute. And that's what you want to reveal. You don't want all of this foliage in the way. And what happens is all this foliage fills up with dead flies, and then they just die off, and you just end up with loads of dead flies down the bottom. So actually you want to reveal all these crowns, so these can all grow up into new shoots, and then start collecting all those flies in the summer, and just being really, really cool plants. Having sat outside here and done that, I've realised that actually it's maybe not as mild as I thought it was. So I've got one more job that I need to do before I probably go inside and have a cup of tea and look at some seed catalogues. But that is to rescue these. So these are some lovely cheap plants that I bought the other day. They are a lovely Fatsia japonica. So they're a very tropical looking plant, castor oil plant, very tropical looking, but actually you can keep them in our temperatures without actually having to protect them in the winter. Now these were £8 reduced to £2, which I thought was a very good find, and there was 3 of them, and these will be perfect for the tropical garden that I'm developing at the pit, which is, as I've said before, it's going to look like a tropical garden, hopefully, so lots of big leaves, and in the pit palms, big leaves, big grasses, but actually stuff that can survive here. So castor oil plants, palms that can survive over in the UK, flaxes, pampas grasses, that sort of thing. But what we need to do today is I just need to trim off all of this dead stuff so we get right back to basics and we can see the new growth coming through. Now you can see here we've got a nice new leaf coming through here, we've got a nice new leaf coming through here, and these have actually been kept in my car the past few days. It was kind of a good atmosphere for them. I think they were too watered, they got too wet, and then they weren't looked after properly. So actually just sitting in my car for a few days in the warmth, allowing to dry out, was probably a good thing. So we're just going to come in and we're just going to chop off some of this dead stuff so we can see what we're working with, and that way I know where new shoots are coming from. Let's get this one off as well. So you see there's a bit of mould down there as well, and you don't want that going back into your plants. They have been too wet. And I won't keep these outside at the moment. I'm going to keep these in, oh look, I've just accidentally taken that leaf off. Oops, never mind, it will continue to grow. I'm going to keep these in the conservatory where it's a little bit warmer. You can see again, there's quite a lot of mould down the base here. So I want to get rid of this mould. I don't want that creeping back into the plant. So we'll keep an eye on that, and if it remains, I will actually spray it the same as I do with my microgreens with a 1% hydrogen peroxide, and that will just help kill off mould and also keep it in an aerated environment. If it gets really bad, I might even put a little fan on it for a few days just to help kill that off. But this one in particular is quite nice. It's got quite a lot of new shoots coming out. And then this one, again, this was the shoot that originally was the main shoot of the plant, and it's died off. So I'm going to cut that right off. And you can see the rot is going back into the plant there. So you just need to keep an eye on that, because that could take it back to the roots and rot off. But hopefully there are enough other shoots here to keep it going. And as I say, there were only £2. So if the worst happens and I lose them, I've not lost a lot of money. But already, slightly healthier looking plants, and as I say, I'm going to put them into the conservatory, keep them warm, let them dry out to kill off that mould, and we'll see how we go. But hopefully they'll develop into some nice big plants. Talking of the conservatory, or as I like to call it, the disintegrating, falling apart lean-to, these are the seeds that we did a couple of weeks ago, and remember we potted them on into these individual trays. Here's our hollyhocks, nice and upright now, they've rooted in, and these are our little salvias, and I cut them all back, which seemed quite drastic, but you can see already they are now shooting out, so they're making these second shoots, which are going to make the plant bushier. And here is a Fatsia japonica that I actually bought earlier in the year. It was in a very cheap one of those £1 shops, and you can see for £1 it's done amazingly, and I think it's had 3 or 4 new leaves since I got it, so that's really good as well. Just balance that over there because that's a bit top heavy. And I think it's kind of cold outside, so I'm gonna probably leave it and come in and have a sit down. But thank you for joining me today on today's sort of Brimwood Farm vlog of cutting back and getting ready for spring. As I say, I do kind of leave everything around for the wildlife. So when it comes to spring, I'm not only sowing, but I'm clearing away debris from autumn as well. If you've liked the video, please hit subscribe and the like button. If you are on Facebook, come and join us at Brimwood Farm's community group. But I will say goodbye for now. Bye-bye.